Hey gang, this is a small continuation of my DRO install on my sherline milling machine. Uh, I bondaged them, all three of the displays together. Oh yeah. Um, Now, there are a number of ways you can do this. There's the way I gauging provided for those nice little thumb screws, quarter 20. Uh, those magnetic strips in the back of the displays, right? I had, where is it? There we are. I had them latching on to this. Yeah, I chopped up a hasp for a shop project, no less. Anyway, uh, they didn't latch onto that tight as I wanted to. The little thumb screws weren't as tight as I wanted them to, so I took a 3" by 5" piece of ABS plastic and I glued the three of them to it. On one end, the little sliding hatches for 2 batteries are fully accessible. On the other end, well, that's on the other end, so, covering the back don't really matter. 3" by 5". Leaves the battery compartments so you can get in and out of them. Another way is quarter 20 rod straight up through the backs of the three of them. I opened the middle one up in my cluster and looked. There's nothing physically to stop you from drilling and running quarter 20 rod up through the three of them. A nut down here holding it to the plastic arm, a wing nut up here if you want adjustability. Only two little things. Well, there's two things. One, you will immediately void your warranty on the ones you do it to. Two, you got to be very damn steady, very, very damn good. I opened up the middle one. I popped out the magnets. I was going to show you what's inside. What's inside? An eye gauging, easy read plus DRO display. That thin little paper thin plastic conductor with the traces painted on conductive paint. I did not want to risk it, so I put it back together. Don't open those displays. Well, it's yours. Do whatever you want. But anyway, and then there's the way I did. Glue them to a 3" by 5" piece of plastic. They're permanently mounted there now. I have adjustability for angle all three in the same place. Gee whiz, I'm looking at them from the same place. Why do I gotta have MASH's signboard? 45 million miles to the moon. Yeah. Anyway, I've attached some JPEGs of making the suspects, the usual suspects, round up the usual suspects, the culprits in the act. Hey gang, Poppy here. This is a little continuational add-on to my DRO install on my sherline milling machine. Question is, you got 3 of them stacked up here, and say you don't like the way those little thumb screws screwed them together. They don't get tight enough. And these 4 little magnets on each of these units, a piece of steel like so, right? Plenty of ferromagnetic mass there. They just move around. You want a way to more permanently and definitely mount them together. What I did is I took a piece of this white ABS, cut it 3 inches by 5. You notice it's absolutely perfect on the edge there. And I used some glue. The battery ports are fully accessible. The power ports and data ports, fully accessible. These connections for a computer where you can plug in a cord, their plugs are there. I've removed these because they're going to have power and data plugged in, and they're just in the way. But I love these because they're nice. Another way, I opened this one up, took out the 7 screws, and very carefully lifted the clamshell open. I don't recommend you do this. There's one of them very thin, like mylar, with electroconductive paint lines for the circuitry. Plug in here and plug in here, and you unplug it, it never goes back in because it's paint. And where it's plugged in actually tears it apart when you unplug it, I think. Anyway, don't open these up. If you want, and you are really brave and don't mind immediately voiding the warranty on this, you can go up through one of these with a number 7 drill, or actually go from the brass bushing side. Number 7 drill, 1/4 tap. And you come from this side, and there's a little itty bitty wall here. 1/4 inch, pop, pop, pop. 1/4 all thread. A nut. Nice wing nut up here. That way you can have them 3 different directions if you want. That's another way. Like I said, you will immediately void the warranty on each one of these you do that to. This one, eye gauging may forgive me. Not want to burn me at the stake, or is that lapidate? I don't know. But this is what I did. The magnets weren't strong enough, and I didn't like those little thumb wheels, and I was going to do a what's inside an eye gauging easy view DRO plus display unit, but with that little itty bitty, I mean, it's less than paper thin. I wasn't going to risk destroying it. Anyway, that's that for now. Hey gang, Puppy here. This is Protect Your DRO power supply. I just went out there to put that assembly of 3 displays that I'd glued together back on the machine, turn them on, and one of them wouldn't power up. I unplugged its power supply, plugged another one in, it powers up. I plugged this one into the other one, and no power up. I tried everything. Finally, I put 2 batteries in one of them, and the other 2 powered up with their power supply, and it powered up with 2 batteries. Although these are intended that you can leave them for a while, unattended, doing nothing, if you got all 3 of them, or a 3 display cluster into one extension cord, unplug it when you're not using it, because this is dead. I have to replace it now. It's my fault. Don't do what I did and get one of yours burnt out. Okay? Unplug your power supplies when you're not using them.